Kim Jong-un made history on Friday by crossing the heavily militarized border with South Korea for the first time in more than a decade as he called for peace between the two states. But Professor Sung-Yoon Lee believes North Korea has had the upper hand throughout negotiations and is using diplomatic talks to rid the peninsula of U.S. troops. Speaking on BBC Radio 4's World Tonight, Professor Sung-Yoon said, "There was a commitment to the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula, which is a strange formulation when you consider the fact that there are no nukes in South Korea, so why not say denuclearization of North Korea? Why? Because North Korea insists on this formulation and American policymakers have obliged and to this day likely repeat this message." Getty World War III, Professor Sung-Yoon Lee warned the Korean summit was simply political theater. "We have very two different meanings of the so-called denuclearization of the Korean peninsula." Sung-Yoon Lee: "Now, what does North Korea mean by it? They will occasionally tell you, frankly, what that means, which is dislodging the U.S. extended deterrence, nuclear deterrence from the region, evicting U.S. troops from South Korea and eventually Japan. So we have very two different meanings of the so-called denuclearization of the Korean peninsula." The South Korean professor warned people still believe the tiny backward North Korea will denuclearize because it has nothing else, but he added, "I would make the case, precisely for the very same reason, because North Korea has little else, they are most unlikely to give it up, in terms of the optics, in terms of de-escalation and fuzzy feelings, the Korean reconciliation." The summit meeting was indeed high political theater. Kim Jong-un attempted to shut down fears of a World War III when he and South Korean counterpart Moon Jae-in signed a declaration pledging to jointly eliminate nuclear weapons on the Korean peninsula. The shock move was made at the first Inter-Korea summit in over a decade on Friday, in which the leaders pledged to jointly eliminate the risk of war between the two nations. President Moon Jae-in and Kim Jong-un declared their ambitions to establish permanent and solid peace on the peninsula. Kim Jong-un commented on the prospect of peace, saying, "We are at a starting line today, where a new history of peace, prosperity and inter-Korean relations is being written." He also noted that the two nations were brethren who should not live apart, and praised Moon and South Korean officials for organizing a successful summit, adding that the countries will become one. Moon confirmed this statement, saying, "There will not be any more war on the Korean peninsula." The official declaration includes pledges to halt hostile acts between the nations, pursue a military arms reduction, and seek multilateral discussions with other countries such as the U.S. U.S. President Donald Trump has taken credit for what took place at the Korea summit but warned that America will not be played like a fiddle. President Trump said, "When I began, people were saying that was an impossibility. They said there were two alternatives, let them have what they have or go to war." He added, "And now we have a much better alternative than anybody thought even possible. We are not going to be played. Okay. We are going to hopefully make a deal, but if we don't, that's fine." Donald Trump wrote on Twitter, "Korean War to end. The United States, and all of its great people, should be very proud of what is now taking place in Korea."